Hey NFers, we have a sponsor on the podcast this week.
Today's episode is brought to you by...
the podcast that is sweeping the nation, Dogs I Saw.
Oh, you mean the podcast that is created by our old Des Moines friends, Mark Van Onen, Travis Chernus, and occasionally Will Frazier?
You got it, buddy. Those two sacks of shit, and occasionally Will, have a wonderful show dedicated to the excitement and joy you feel when you get to see a dog.
Christianity is dedicated to the excitement and joy you feel when you get to see a god.
What a weird thing to say.
Where can you find this podcast?
You can get it on iTunes, Podomatic, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And then give them a like on Facebook at Dogs I Saw Pod and tell them Patrick and Ream sent you. Previously on the Nostalgic Front.
Oh, it's a podcast!
It is!
We have a
man,
podcast.
Talk about hype.
Hype.
It's here.
Episode 1. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. You see that?
Yeah.
I just killed two buffaloes that were like, it was like a fucking,
It was as if they popped up after you.
it was like a glitch.
They got all these ROMs of all these classic video games like updated. I've been seeing, I don't know if you played much No Mercy back in the day.
Yes.
Was that the Uncle Jesse game? No, the Uncle Jesse game was Have Mercy.
Yeah, WWE. Have mercy. What's the point of the Bermuda Triangle? To make shit disappear?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You went through it? Like on a boat or on a plane? Or did you just stay somewhere
on a
near
jet
it?
ski.
Oh shit, we don't have a theme song.
Oh shit, you're right. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, like, do we have time to buy something?
No, we just have to riff.
We're gonna just riff it? Oh shit, it's the Nostalgic Front, a podcast from Patrick and Ream. We like movies, TV, and games, junk food, juice boxes, forgotten things.
Oh wow, that was adequate.
Yeah, that was, like, pretty good.
Yeah, are we just gonna use it for every episode?
I think we should. I think we have to.
Thank you for listening to the Nostalgic Front. I'm Patrick Hasty.
And I am Brandon Ream.
How is it going, Brandon?
It's going great.
It's
going great, Patrick.
Fantastic.
You know, I have a backstory.
Yeah?
That I'm not getting into.
No, we're not gonna get.
But let me just say that I'm not the biggest fan of the person I was before I came here.
Oh yeah.
You know,
you're not
I
gonna
feel like this time on the podcast that we spend together is what truly defines me. You know,
sure. Is the now.
And it's making me a better person.
The past is past. The future's now.
That's right. Ooh, time travel.
Time travel.
I like time travel.
Yeah. This is finally we got it. The Lost episode.
Oh, we couldn't find it.
No, we recorded this in 2017.
Yeah, we put this fucker in the can.
Yeah, baby.
We recorded this right now.
We're recording right now. Yeah,
it's 2017.
Yeah, it's early 2017. Goddamn.
I can't wait for Avengers.
Yeah, I can't wait for Trump to be impeached in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that new Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm. We should start a podcast.
The Last Jedi, I don't think has come out yet.
Yeah. This is a bit.
I don't know what's happening, but it's a good bit. How are you, bud?
I'm great, man.
You excited for this episode?
Yeah, dude.
Me too. It's fun.
I've been wanting to go back and rewatch Lost or relive it in some capacity. So knocking out a little episode of the Nostalgic Front.
Yeah.
Where we
fun side.
wax poetically about one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Sounds great.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it too. I think we're going to talk about it. But first, as always, let's get into that gosh darn Wikipedia.
Okay.
Lost is an American drama television series that originally aired on the ABC Broadcasting Network from September 22nd, 2004 to May 23rd, 2010, over 6 series comprising a total of 121 episodes. The show contains elements of supernatural and science fiction and follows the survivors of a commercial jet airliner flying from Sydney, Australia to Los Angeles, California, after the plane crashes on a mysterious tropical island somewhere in the South Pacific. The story is told in heavily serialized manner. Episodes typically feature a primary storyline set on the island, augmented by flashback or flash-forward sequences.
Or flash sideways.
Which provide additional insight into the involved characters. Lost was created by Jeffrey Lieber, J.J. Abrams, and Damon Lindelof, who share story writing credits for the pilot episode, which Abrams directed. Throughout the show's run, Lindelof and Carlton Cuse served as showrunners and head writers, working together with a large number of executive producers and writers. Due to its large ensemble cast, the cost of the filming primarily on location in Oahu, Hawaii, the series was one of the most expensive on television, with the pilot costing over $14 million.
Wow.
The
pilot cost $14 million?
Yeah.
I thought he was played by J.J. Abrams' childhood friend. You figure he could have thrown him a...
Give him, maybe that's the thing. It's all a scam.
You know, the guy from Heroes?
Yeah, we know. We got it. What's that guy?
Wars?
He's in Star Wars now, too. Isn't he related to Biggs? I think he's related to Biggs.
Anyways, I'm sorry for...
No, you got it.
I'm not supposed to interrupt Wikipedia for jokes.
Rules are meant to be broken.
That's right.
The fictional universe and the mythology of Lost are explained upon by a number of related media. Most importantly, a series of short mini-episodes called Missing Pieces, and a 12-minute epilogue titled The New Man in Charge.
And that was early on TV network multimedia. Yes, a plane flew over.
Yeah, do you hear that?
Yeah, we live in New York fucking city.
Yeah, but it flew over like right as I ended talking about Lost. I literally thought you were doing a sound effect.
Oh, now I get where you... Would it be really crazy if it crashed?
And we just see it. It looks kind of CGI'd and fucked up, but it's still pretty good for ABC, you know?
And 200004.
Yeah, wow.
Like, I can't believe that plane's crashing, but the special effects look pretty decent for
Speaking
2004.
of crashing, you watch that show?
First
Pete
couple
Holmes?
episodes.
Fucker, on one of the most recent episodes, just fucks a lady. You just watch this comedian just fuck a lady. Like, it's a fucking weird. I didn't know that's what the show was going to be. I thought it was going to be just talking about jokes and comedy, you know? But no, now it's just this guy getting to fuck a lady on TV. It's very weird. Anyways, today we're talking about Crashing. Pete Holmes' great television series on HBO. No, we're talking about Lost.
Yeah.
So did you get in? Were you an early adopter? 2004? You're right there?
No, not out the gate, man.
No, not out the gate.
Lost, for starters.
Speaking of gate, airplane talk.
It was the first TV show I ever binged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the season 1 of Lost was getting passed around at my poker game.
Sure. Oh, who are we talking? Duffy?
Nope. A bunch of people from Polly Eyes Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Polly.
We know Polly Eyes.
We used to play a lot of poker back.
Yeah, of course you
A lot
did.
of people played a lot of poker back.
Sure,
in the
Moneymaker
days.
was high. I was high on the hog.
Phil
Phil Hellmuth?
Yep. Some of the Daniel Negreanu.
Yeah. The old guy. What was the old guy's name? Bruce something?
Doyle Brunson.
Yeah, Doyle Brunson. Ugh.
I used to watch a lot of fucking poker.
Can you imagine fucking Doyle Brunson and having to be like, oh, Doyle Brunson, I'm going to come.
And then Jennifer Tilly popped up.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer Tilly was around. Oliver Hudson was around every once in a while, who
It's
went
just
on to be
crazy
a great
watching
actor.
World Series of Poker because all you hear, Phil Hellmuth, the brat.
I fucking said that.
Oh.
God damn it. You
I
don't
thought you
listen.
meant Phil Ivey, so I didn't.
No,
even
I
think
didn't know
about
Phil
it.
Ivey. I thought you were saying Phil Ivey, actually.
Oh.
Hellmuth.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Chris Moneymaker. Did we talk about him?
Yeah, up top. Anyways, the Lost. God damn it. The Lost DVD just kept getting passed around.
Season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The poker table.
People loved
Eventually,
it.
I got to it.
Yeah.
And it was the first thing I ever binge watched.
Sure.
You know,
because that wasn't really a thing yet.
Binge watching was not a thing.
No.
Well, you had to, number one, like most shows weren't serialized like that.
No. Yeah.
You
So
know,
it didn't.
outside of HBO.
Yeah. What was serialized back then? Even was HBO stuff like Sopranos?
Everything was cop dramas.
And this might be a very obvious dumb question, but is Sopranos serialized?
Yeah.
But not 100%. Those are. Is it? It is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
But like a Quantum
just-
Leap or a SVU, they're not.
No.
There are overarching stories.
Yeah.
But it's individual stories. But
Yeah,
Lost, I mean, sometimes
I
there'd
think,
be-
as far as I can tell, it's like the first big network serialized thing because it's at the cusp of the internet age.
Yeah.
And the internet obviously made way for us to do a lot of this binge watching stuff
Yeah.
and serialized shows because HBO was doing a lot of that with Oz.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sopranos.
Arliss.
Yeah.
I don't know if Arliss was serialized.
Me neither, but
yeah.
and then along comes Lost.
Lost, that really...
And not only that, but one of the things that I think was huge for Lost was, man, they knew how to do cliffhangers.
Oh, yeah. That was like,
Like no other.
the whole writing of it.
Yeah. Like almost every episode ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So if I'm going through my first binge watch of season 1, and I got to start up that next fucking episode.
So when you got into it, what all had aired? What were you able to get right away? Just season 1?
Season and a half.
See, okay, so...
Or no, season 1 and 2.
So
I was
I'm-
there for season 3 and on, watching it live.
Season
you know?
4 is where I got in. It was Stacy and I, my wife.
So you missed. I think the season 3 finale was like one of the biggest moments for me on television.
What happens in the season 3 finale?
We have to go back. Charlie dies, and we find out that the episode is on a flash forward with, and then it ends with fucking Kate showing up.
That's right.
And
what's so goddamn funny?
You're picking your fucking belly button.
Yeah.
You just look so comfortable.
I'm very comfortable.
Just like digging into your fucking...
I had a piece of lint.
Well, you know, you can wait for me.
You want to leave it in there?
So anyways, fucking...
Season 3 finale is when you realize you think you're following Jack in a flashback, but it's actually a flash forward.
Yeah, and then he's like, we have to go back.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, they're off the fucking island?
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah. So
on top of that, Charlie dies, and...
That was in the same episode. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because I am very
Through
confused.
the looking glass.
I've rewatched the series. Okay, so what I did was, Stacey and I, when we were dating, we went on a road trip to somewhere, maybe out west somewhere, and we, like maybe 2008 or something, and we had the first 3 seasons were all on DVD at that point, and I was working at Blockbuster, so we took them all, and then at night we'd watch them.
How many times had you watched a show in that capacity?
What do you mean? Where I watched 3 seasons?
style.
Never. It was the first time I did
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But we did it, and Stacey right away didn't like. So we watched a couple episodes of season 1, and she didn't like it. There's that not famous, but it's famous, my relationship. The episode where Boone freaks out, and he's like having like nightmare, and you just see Boone go, what is it? Lisa goes up the stairs, Lisa goes down the stairs, or whatever like that, or something like that. Felicia goes up the stairs, Felicia goes down the stairs. And Stacey was like, I'm not watching this show. It's a scary show. And I was like, it's not a scary show, but she thinks it's a scary show. So then on this road trip, when she would go to bed, I would watch 1 or 2 episodes at night. And then when I got back to New York, or when I got back, not to New York, I was living in Iowa. When I got back to Iowa, I was actually working in Omaha at the time. And I was working at that Blockbuster. So then I put on all of season 3 and binge watched it while I was at work at Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I had watched 3 seasons. And then I started watching weekly with season 4, episode 1. Which is a fucked up way to watch a show.
Yeah.
To go from seeing whatever it is, how many episodes a season? 12, 24?
Roughly 20.
30. Yeah, but I mean, like in 3 seasons, that's like 40-some episodes, 30-some episodes. And then immediately, you're jumping into fucking... So yeah, 20, 40, 60, probably 60 episodes. And then I'm waiting week to week for season 4 episodes. And then a fucking year between the two, the next season and the next season, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I loved it because of that season.
It's also funny how many filler episodes
Yeah.
there are in there.
Well-
So all of a sudden, when you can no longer... filler episodes are fine when you're binging a show. Mm-hmm. You know, show like...
but when you're...
The ones when, like, I kind of like when you're binging a show and they have that filler episode that completely deviates from, like,
and it gives you
the
a
main
relaxed
narrative, and then you're watching, like, some secondary characters have an episode, and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just got done watching great show, You're the Worst.
Yeah,
I got all caught up there, and they'll have random episodes that have nothing to do with, like, the main characters, and they're great. But I can remember when the Nikki and Paulo episode of Lost came out.
Jesus.
I was livid.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't give a fuck about these jewel thieves.
Fuck yeah.
You know, I want to know about the island.
Yeah.
Mr. Echo's dead. What's going on?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. It was so weird to go into that like that. And what season was it when, like, Jack, it's talking about Jack in Australia and he's dating, like, is it
he gets a tattoo? The tattoo episode?
What season is that? Do you know? Is that 3 maybe?
I don't know
or
because
2?
it's so...
Whatever that episode is, that season, that is the one that I literally watched at Blockbuster the most. And so there are sometimes I'll see clips from Lost and I'm like, I don't even remember that because I was like, you know, maybe somebody came into the store at that point and I'm not looking up at the TV, you know, and then I go back,
I think,
okay.
To a degree, a lot of the stuff that happened, I mean, it's obvious to say, but a lot of the stuff that happens in Lost, I don't think matters at all.
Yeah.
It's just narrative structures to, like, see the characters that you care about.
Yeah.
Because that's really what Lost comes down to, is not the fucking smoke monster that matters, and it's not the fucking Dharma Initiative that matters. It's fucking Sawyer and Juliet that matter, you know, and it's the characters that the people that are what matters, and that's what you find out from the people that like that's like the ending of Lost too. Is it's not like your life isn't what mattered. It was like your effect on the people that mattered in your life.
Yeah.
That matters.
Yeah.
And that's what Lost is about.
And
man.
Yeah. I was gonna say I love that you started that's what it is about. And those characters are like really good, well written, great stuff, you know,
and well casted.
And the original Lost group, I don't know what do we call them?
Losties.
Yeah, they're like
the original 16.
Hurley, Sawyer, Sun, Kate, John, Locke, Saeed,
also
Jack, Jen, Claire. Those are like the ones that are like the fucking like hardcore.
Also, no coincidence that it became the international phenomenon it was when it had one of the most diverse casts
for sure
you've ever seen up until that point.
Exactly, and nobody's playing a playing a caricature. There's no token like It's like, you know, everybody.
Saeed,
he's like a fucking
Iraq Republican guardsman.
Yeah.
And he's putting out. This is like a year after we invaded. Iraq, and we have a sympathetic Iraqi soldier. You know,
it's very
as one of our like
and then
heroes.
The other thing it did so fucking well was when it brought in other characters. Oh, of course.
Others?
No. I was gonna say also. Let's not forget
other characters.
Hold on.
Like
hold on. Let's not forget Charlie though too, because he was part of that original cast. And I'm looking at the IMDb, so it tells you who's in as many episodes, and unfortunately, Charlie wasn't in so many. But
because he died.
Yeah. Another thing though it does really well is when it brought in new actors. Now, I mean, how often you watch a show and like 3 or 4 seasons in, you're like, "Who the fuck? I don't care about this person."
It's amazing for the show being about a deserted island.
How
well they were able to introduce characters. And and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, because they have the...
Well, fucking Linus.
Yeah.
Linus was huge.
Well, the entire others.
The others, and
then you have, like, Juliet through that. And then
well, Desmond and the goddamn Hatch was... Desmond's one of my favorite television characters of all time.
You're right, brother.
Also, the hottest guy. One of the hottest guys of all time, right?
Uh-huh.
Like,
you're gonna die, brother.
Yeah, he's
long hair Desmond's hot, short hair Desmond's hot.
Yeah.
Ooh, beret in the rain Desmond is hot.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna fucking...
He's my constant boner.
Yeah, I'm getting Woody right now. And then also later, like, what's her name? Juliet.
Yeah.
Who, like, I literally at that point was like, I don't believe this. And Juliet was like a love interest for both Jack and Sawyer, and believable. And there's times where I'm like, I think Juliet, I like the Juliet
Jack
character
and
better
Sawyer are Eskimo brothers twice over.
Yeah. I like the Juliet character better than the Kate character in a lot of times. I like her arcs and stuff. You know what Kate has, though, that they don't have? You know where Kate's from?
Canadian?
Ames, Iowa. That's where Kate lived.
Oh, okay.
That's where she fucking killed her dad.
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly.
And she almost lost her role as Kate.
Yeah.
Because of visas and shit.
Oh, really?
Like Hawaii doesn't like Canadians for some reason.
That's funny that she's Canadian and she's also WAS, White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Get it?
Uh-huh.
Because she's the WAS.
Yeah.
I love her too. She's gorgeous and wonderful and such a great actress.
Yeah. And like, tough.
Do you ever see
and everything? I don't know. She just has a...
What's that movie? Hurt Locker.
Oh.
The Hurt Locker. She plays Jeremy Renner's wife in The Hurt Locker, and like and this is a thing, like I'm not gonna she's so much more than an attractive actress, but she is a gorgeous actress, and it's really funny in The Hurt Locker. She just plays a lady, and she's so good at like sometimes you watch a movie and you're like, oh, that's like a gorgeous actress trying to play a regular person, but she's like such a good actress that you're like, oh yeah, you don't even she's so
easily
above
had the best post Lost career.
Now that's an interesting thing. You think so?
Probably
because I don't think she did for a bit. I mean, I don't think she was kind of out of it for a while. I didn't see her in anything until she showed up in Hurt Locker
and Real Steel and The Hobbit.
But the Real Steel is nothing. The Hobbit,
Real Steel is nothing. It made plenty of fucking money.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I don't think the Real Steel is like, oh, look at Evangeline, look how she's doing. She's in Real Steel. The Hobbit.
Compared to everybody else, though.
But who else? Yeah, so what else do we got here?
Matthew Fox went crazy and did that one sniper movie.
Yeah.
And then went crazy.
But Josh Holloway has had a couple series, which is weird because he's very likable. It's weird.
Isn't he?
He reminds me of.
I fucking love Sawyer.
I thought about this once. Wouldn't it be great to see him and you watch Friday Night Lights? Him and Coach from Friday Night Lights act in something together.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they're both Southern, but they're both completely different kind of energies. You know, like Sawyer's kind of cocky and loud. He's soft spoken.
It's always funny how these shows go down too, because like I was watching a lot of the making of stuff
Yeah.
on Lost today to get ready, and a lot of the characters were just written for the actors after
Yeah.
the fact. Like I know Sawyer was supposed to be a middle-aged dude, and then he auditioned, and they were like, all right, well, he's going to be a cool young Southerner guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, I know they made Hurley for the show. Like, they wrote Hurley for Jorge Garcia. Also, Weezer, I don't know why they have all these color albums. They should have more Lost albums.
More Rad albums,
you know?
yeah. Ratitude or whatever. No, wait,
it's just
Hurley, that's right.
Yeah.
And then another thing, though, about the actors on the show, we were talking about who their post careers. I think there's an argument in there that Daniel Day Kim, who played Jin, he's been on that Hawaii Five-0.
A lot of people from Lost have been on Hawaii
because it
5-0.
films and it's filmed in Hawaii
Yeah.
and uses a lot of the same production and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But that show's been going since a couple years, and he's the star of that the whole time.
Yeah,
so it's like
multiple people from Lost have been on.
it's
Hawaii
weird how
5-0.
I wouldn't have picked him to be the next star. But then it's weird. Terry O'Quinn had a show for a minute. Locke, he had another show for a little bit.
Juliet had V.
Oh yeah, when
Like,
they
right-
tried to bring V back.
It is interesting, all of the Lost ripoffs.
Oh yeah, all
that
the future.
came, like
but
the event.
V wasn't one though.
No,
V
no.
was a redux of the old
But
series.
like the
But you're right.
event,
The event.
Flash Forward.
Flash Forward, which I
And the
decided
9?
I got into Flash Forward.
Now they have Manifest.
Yeah, I got into Flash Forward, and I really liked it. I thought it was really good, and Charlie was in it. Dominic Monaghan was
Yeah.
in it. And it's one of those shows that just the one season, and then they're just like, "Fuck you, we're canceling it." There's nothing.
People want to discredit Lost, how it was fucking not that good, or
Yeah.
like just a shitty show. But it's like, then why have they tried to make another Lost
Yeah,
over and over and failed? What's interesting is the ABC executive that like really pushed for Lost
yeah,
got fired
no shit.
because he made Lost.
That's funny.
Like they're like, it's gonna cost this much money.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
wonder what he's gone on. Hopefully, he's gone on to be successful, or
he's the-
she,
yeah,
or whatever.
He's the guy that says previously on
That's
Lost.
him. Yeah.
And an interesting thing too, I'm sure a lot of Lost fans know this as well, but the original Jack, they wanted to cast Michael Keaton.
Oh, that's right. And he was just supposed to be in the pilot.
And he was going to get killed off in the first
yeah.
episode until ABC people were like, we don't want to lose the trust of our fans.
Yeah.
By killing off our
And
main character.
I think I might be wrong, but I feel like I've seen an interview with Michael Keaton said he didn't want to watch Lost at first after he found that out, but then he got into it later on and something, and I like that. I like the idea of him being like, oh, cool.
Like, I don't think there has been a event television show like Lost since Lost.
Game of Thrones. That's it.
It's still it still has never brought in numbers anywhere close.
Only because it's HBO, though. I think Game of Thrones is as popular or more popular than Lost. I do. I might be wrong in this, but I think so. But I think Lost walked so Game of Thrones could run, though.
Yeah. Not only that, but like it's network.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
the difference. There's been no networky thing like this for sure, unless it's
and nothing.
The Masked Singer. There's nothing that's like a reality show. Yeah.
Nothing ever again will bring in
and
Lost numbers.
It is really
those
like
numbers are lost.
We
to
talked
networks.
about Flash Forward. Flash Forward was great, and I don't know if you saw any of that, but it had a really interesting story where all of a sudden one day everybody on Earth saw like 2 minutes. They flashed forward to 2 minutes of this one day, like 5 years away or 2 years away. But then because of that, planes crashed, people died, everything. And then some people didn't see anything, and so then it was speculated that since they didn't see anything, that they would die between then and then. And so those people that were supposed to be dead between then and then, so all the people who saw that date, like April 2 years from now, they could kill themselves and they wouldn't die. They could jump off buildings, they wouldn't die because they know they're supposed to be alive at that point.
Lost.
It was great.
Like I said, we've said Lost changed television.
Yeah.
Because another thing that we haven't mentioned yet is the pretty much the ascension of the showrunner's role in TV, where like you started seeing these guys stick around, or people, I'm sorry, stick around and see these shows through to the end.
Yeah.
Like they didn't just end shows, like you can kind of see it in some of the earlier seasons of Lost where they're trying to figure out ways to stretch out a show.
Yeah.
Because it was after 3 seasons they were able to say, we're going to end it after 6.
Mm-hmm.
And like that just wasn't a thing back then. And now it's like that's how you do shows.
Yeah.
Is you do about 6 seasons in a movie.
Yeah, like the Community's End.
And then they end it like that.
Yeah, it's it really did that, and gave a lot of license and control to a showrunner to be able to do that.
Because previously it's like you're Dick Wolf's.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get as many shows as you can.
Yeah.
And you run those.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know, the people that run shows are almost as popular as the people that are on the shows.
I was thinking about that.
Like you get a lot more people that back a show because you see what other shows they've done.
I was thinking about that. Do you think like SVU? Do you think they have in their back pocket a series finale that's like gonna actually do a big thing and like be like or do you think it's just gonna be an SVU episode and then they're like, we're moving to Philly or something?
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, but I think about that sometimes with a show like that's been on for 20 some years or whatever. I also want to say this when you were talking about the cast real quick. I just want to say Michael Emerson, who played Ben Linus, who was literally
he's so good as Ben
he
Linus,
is, but he
too.
would be. He was. I
you
hated
realize
him.
how often he probably gets punched on the street.
Yeah, remember that? And he had a show too on CBS
I didn't
for a
trust
minute.
him from Go.
I did.
Michael
I kept
Gale.
looking at him. There was
shows from Minnesota.
when he I was gonna say first off the actor from Cedar Rapids, so that's cool. Born and raised in the same place as my wife. But he the episode where they go back in time and they try to kill him as a child and they don't. I was so upset because I'm like, do it! You could save it all, and I really thought they would. But so real quick, we're getting a little too long in the tooth on this one. But tell me about the seasons. Let's do each season by way a bullet point that you can give me.
I can give a quick
like an elevator pitch for each season because I love how they go.
I can remember because I tried to. There's so much little things in Lost that I forgot about while I was trying to like do my cram session. For it here, but basically season 1 is Oceanic 815
crashes on the island.
Crashes on an island. It's this mysterious island. People start poking around and figure out that there is a group of other people on the other side of the island. This is going to be really tough to fucking do. But
I asked you if you wanted me to get you a synopsis.
Well, season 1 is they crash, right?
Yeah.
And they start to discover the island. And then
they find Desmond.
They have to go. Nope, that's not it. Let me finish because that's not season 1. All right. They crash on the island. They start to find out there's other people on the island, and they start to try and get off of the island because that's where Ethan. Remember Ethan?
Yeah.
The super creepy guy that's not on the manifest.
He's like another. Yeah.
Like, dude, Ethan, because they eventually they're trying to get off the island initially, and then Hurley makes the golf course.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna hang around. Saeed's like, I'm going to go map the island. He finds Rousseau, all that.
Yeah,
anyways, season 1 is basically that. Season 2 is basically the tailies.
Yeah.
The people from the tail end of the thing, which
I forgot about them.
Which is Bernard and Echo.
Is Gina Rodriguez one of them?
Michelle
Rodriguez, yeah.
And a couple other people are the tails.
Yeah.
And they meet up eventually. And that's also when we're in the hatch.
Yep. That's the Desmond.
So it's tail people, hatch, and Ben Linus being discovered. And, eventually Michael shoots everybody, saves Ben Linus, and trades everybody for Walt.
It's funny how we've been talking about this so far. I want to say real quick, and if somebody's listening and has never seen Lost, they, for one, have no concept of what the show is. Also, we haven't mentioned any of, like, it's a supernatural show.
That's not what
the end of the world. Like,
if you start doing there's an island in 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
If you start,
but like Desmond's pushing a button,
doing that shit from Go, people are going to be like,
yeah.
Now, however, you'd be like, "What's the show about?" It's like, well, people crash on an island.
Yeah.
And then it's it's the J.J. Abrams mystery box.
Who was your
for 120 fucking episodes?
Tell me about season 3 now.
Okay, so that's. Season 3 is when everybody's captive.
Yes, by the others.
And we start to know a little bit more about the others, and people keep creeping in there to try and save. And Ben Linus needs to get his surgery done, and he finds out that they have most everything is Ben Linus's big plot to get Jack to do back surgery.
Yes.
To him.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So that's season 3.
Yeah.
Season 4 is basically the Charles Whitmore's boats that have been trying to find the island forever.
And now who's Charles Whitmore?
He is Desmond's fiance's
father.
Dad, who also has like he knows about the island, but he hasn't been on the island forever, and now he can't find his way back to the island.
Yeah.
And he wants to exploit the island. And he's got this group of scientists and mercenaries
that are searching for
like searching for the island, and then I forget what happens to clue them off, but then they know. Oh yeah, because
the hatch moves.
No, it's not the hatch. It's
the nuclear bomb.
No.
The smoke monster.
No.
Polar bear.
No, the one scientist lady shows up, that like hot Indian girl.
Yeah.
And then Jack and her are gonna go call the boat. And then right when she gets ready to call the boat, fucking Locke kills her. Throws a knife in the back.
Is that Rousseau's daughter?
No. It's a lady from the boat.
Lady from the boat.
Yeah. She's one of the scientists.
And she shows up with the pilot and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then she shows up, gets killed because Locke's like, we don't want to.
Yeah.
You're not. We're here for a reason.
And it's true. He could have just hit her hand.
Which is one of the fun,
he could have just hit her hand, right, and knocked the phone out.
Probably,
he didn't need to murder that lady.
Yeah. But one of the good themes of Lost is
dun dun. Oh no, that's the theme to Law and Order.
Is faith versus science.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much Locke versus Jack.
Yeah.
For a majority of there's always like and that's what the button comes down to again. Is faith versus science. They love their fucking themes. That's what's cool about Lost.
Yeah.
There's a lot of literary themes in there.
Yeah.
There's
all the names are literary themes for sure.
Or philosophers.
Yeah.
Everybody's like either from a fucking old novelist or an old philosopher. Everybody's name.
Yeah.
You got Locke. You got
Rousseau, Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one. Really
Michael
obvious.
Faraday.
That's fair. I was going to ask you that. I'll let you get through all of them.
He's one of the four.
Who's your favorite ladder character that came on, not from the original? Who's your favorite original character? Think about that, but then tell me about season 4.
Like I said, season 4 is when everybody and now all of Charles Whitmore's people are showing up.
Yes,
they want to kill Ben Linus because he's the protector of the island as well. And I really need to rewatch Lost. Period.
Yeah,
but that's also when that fucking scene where Alex gets killed.
Yeah.
Ben Linus' daughter, and he's like, he bluffs, and they call his bluff, kill his daughter.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Which is pretty fucked up. So that's season 4.
When does Charlie die? Season 3?
End of season 3.
Season 3.
He goes into the submarine.
And he thinks
he knows he's going to die.
Yeah.
Too, because number one, Desmond has been telling him the whole time, and he's the only person with a swimming background and the lung capacity to get into the underwater sedation.
Also, heroin addiction.
Mm-hmm. And he knows how to play Beach Boy songs
he does.
a keyboard.
He does.
Which is what you need to...
I'm going to go ahead and say that this is unlistenable, this episode. I love it. I'm having a blast because I love Lost.
If you've
never seen Lost, brother, take a pause, go watch 6 seasons.
I think people that have never watched Lost already are not listening to this episode.
Oh, yeah, they're
because
skipping this one.
Enough times where they've just been like, oh shit, people are talking about Lost.
Yeah.
'Cause I can remember trying to explain Lost to people that like are watching it in the 3rd season, and you're just like trying to tell them what the fuck's going on. They're like, oh,
yeah, you're right.
I don't fucking know.
Tell me about season 5.
Okay, let me try and remember season 4 how it ends. Okay, that's the one where they all went back, and now they're gonna leave because one of the big reasons why Jack had to go back is because he finds out Claire's his sister.
Yes,
and he left her. And amongst other reasons, because everybody finds out, because everybody had a shitty past.
But at what point, when was the flash forward start happening? Season 4?
Yeah.
So in season 4, the show always had flashbacks.
4 and 5.
Season 4, you start seeing the Fords, and that's when they're off the island.
Yeah, because season 4 is also the Oceanic 6.
That's right.
Because they got that big reveal early in season 4 when you find out, I forget the name that Locke had for an alias, but they're all going to this funeral that everybody was
they thought
interested in, and then they find out that Locke is the dead. Locke is dead. And they have to go back to the island with Locke.
That's right.
Yeah, because they're gonna save everybody, and season 5 is after everybody gets warped.
Yeah, where there's
time
people
traveling.
Stuck on the island go back to the 1970s.
Yep. Yeah, because they at the end of 4, Benjamin Linus had to go into the basement of the island and turn the wheel.
The donkey wheel.
That changes.
It's the donkey wheel.
Yeah, which changes the island's position in space-time.
Yep.
so they can hide again from Charles Whitmore's evil people, which is also happening when Frank and everybody's trying to get off the island.
Yeah.
So the island teleports with a helicopter full of people, which is also when Sawyer jumps
Sawyer
off.
was
He
in the
whispers
helicopter.
something to Kate
And he jumps out. And we never know what he whispers.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what he whispered?
I forget.
Moonchild! Get it from Neverending Story?
Yeah. So all those people go back in time.
Yeah, and Sawyer then is
Sawyer
in the water.
and Juliet fall in love.
Yep,
in
because
the
they're in the
1970s.
1970s. Hurley writes him Empire Strikes Back.
And also, which is interesting because he's talking about Star Wars with the scientist, the Asian dude scientist.
who's in Force Awakens and
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, so Hurley is
And the original pilot
talking to Star Wars about a guy that's going to be in Star Wars.
in the past about how to make Star Wars better. Wow. That's great.
So I don't remember how they all went back in time.
I know a little bit about this part. Is I just know that because when the island gets turned, the people on the island go back to the 70s. Them in the spaceship, the boat just disappears, and then all of a sudden they're in a different place, but they're still in present
Ben
day.
wakes up in like the desert.
And Ben wakes up in the desert because that's what happened. When you turn the wheel, you get zapped to the desert.
I don't remember how, because the Oceanic Six has to come back and go back in time, right?
They keep flying until they find a boat. No, they don't go back in time. They just get
All
back.
I'm trying to remember, how do we get
They
there?
all get on another plane.
Because Juliet, eventually, for the season 5 finale, she dies.
She blows up by a
and she
nuclear
has
bomb.
to blow up the nuclear bomb.
And when she blows up the nuclear bomb, is that the same time that they're coming back to the island, and that's how they get zapped? Because I think when she blows up the nuclear bomb, it fucks stuff up.
Yeah.
Because something about Faraday.
Because they're trying to get back. Yep.
Faraday and his mom, or Faraday
The
and that
Constant.
woman.
That's
yeah.
a great episode.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Who your favorite? Faraday was my favorite, other than Desmond. But Faraday was my favorite latter season character.
If I
who showed
can't
up.
pick Desmond,
Yeah,
for my
Faraday's
favorite
great.
Later season.
The captain,
I
the
like
plane
that.
captain's great.
I can't think of his name, but I really like that short Asian scientist guy.
Yeah,
that
he's
was
great
like,
too.
He was kind of like the pessimist and
Yeah.
the jerk.
And when
had
they
some
showed
of the
him
best one-liners
in
and
his
stuff.
flashback, he's like really funny because he's wearing like really funny like early 2000s
Yeah.
Janko type shit. But I like Faraday. I like that character, Jeremy Davies or whatever his name is, that actor. I liked him. I liked everything
He
about him.
squints a lot whenever he would talk.
Yeah,
He'd
I
be
always
like-
liked him. But yeah,
his
and,
time traveling episode.
and so then they go to the island, and then what happens is once the nuclear bomb goes off, it fucks the island up to where
Again.
time travel just keeps happening.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
Oh,
is,
yeah,
So
and
remember,
then-
because they're walking along the boat, and all of a
and
sudden
they
people
just
are
keep
shooting,
jumping around.
but people are shooting like cannonballs at him and stuff
Yeah.
like that and stuff because they're like slipped back into like the 1500s or whatever. And then they eventually show up to the 1970s, and everybody's all caught up, but they're in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then
At the Dharma Initiative.
At the Dharma Initiative.
Which Ben eventually kills everybody.
Yes.
Teenage Ben.
Teenage Ben. Who they could have killed, but they didn't. And then season 6 is
The temple, the flash sideways.
yes, where
which-
it's kind of like what would have happened if
really fucks a lot of people up because I mean the ending of Lost, like
people hate it.
yeah,
It's weird.
yeah.
I like it, but they didn't ask me. So I mean, I had no input in it, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
why do I give a fuck?
Yeah, because I always heard the Lindelof use the interesting analogy where it's like, well, you can have the architect from the Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can have the ending of Lost over here. And he's like, I would much rather always be leaning towards the more ambiguous stuff.
Yeah.
Than like, which is true. You don't need to have everything explained.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently some people do.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how anybody watches that shit and they're like, oh, they were dead the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, they're in purgatory the whole
That
time?
feels very much to me like the kind of person, like, okay, you know, like when everyone, well, now it's back on it, but when people are like, Ben Affleck sucks.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was a punchline for a long time. Nickelback sucks. The idea of like, oh, at the end they're all dead. Okay, that was like a lexicon pop culture opinion people could have.
Yeah.
And so people never had to see it or care, or
Like-
if they did see it, they only saw it the way they wanted. And it's
People were saying purgatory is the fucking hack theory for every fucking TV show
Yes.
ever. And they were guessing, oh, they're in purgatory in the second fucking episode.
Yeah. Yeah, and I liked the ending. I thought the show wrapped up pretty good.
For as well as it could.
Yeah,
I mean,
there are a lot of things that have always bugged me. Like, I always wanted to know more. I honestly I don't mind the last episode. I really did not love the Man in Black and the Man in White and all that kind of stuff.
Don't feel bad because neither did Lindelof.
Really? Yeah.
He's like, that's my least favorite episode.
Yeah.
Because that is as close to the architect of the Matrix. That's like metachlorians.
Well, like there's that thing where you got to go in that little stream and then you fall down into that little waterfall and you're in the and it's like, what the fuck is all of this stuff? Like it felt very like more midi-chlorians. It felt very much like that. Mm-hmm. But I certainly did love it. Who was your favorite first round character?
Early.
Who did you?
Because
some people love Sawyer.
Yeah,
I felt like I liked Jack more always. Right,
I
away.
like Sawyer more than Jack, but I think Locke was probably my favorite
Really?
character, just because like his backstory. Which also that's one of the coolest ways, like narrative devices anybody's ever used, and we haven't even talked about it. Is the way they used the flashbacks to slowly show you all these characters, which also made it for a great binge watch. But you're on this island with these characters and you don't know shit about them, and then you're slowly being shown all of their backstories. And it's also interesting, once everybody gets off the island, they start to figure out what the island meant to them and how in this world that they wanted to get back to, like, is not for them and everything.
It's there's also a fun thing about it. If you've never seen the show and somehow you're listening now, you're a moron. But the one thing that is fun, if you want to go back and rewatch the show, is, and I did this a few months ago, I just was like, no, I'll watch the pilot of Lost again. And then the next thing I know is 4 hours later, I've seen 5 episodes or something, and it's the first season is such a good tick of just boom, boom, boom.
Especially when that teacher explodes.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right. Yeah.
Playing with the dynamite.
That's right,
one of the best death scenes ever.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good deaths in there that you weren't expecting, and for network television to do that, that was like ahead of the curve. Also,
just to show how good the show is go watch fucking 2 episodes of Manifest, and that thing is unwatchable. And maybe literally if Lost took place in if they, instead of being a deserted island, if they were in a populated city, maybe you'd be like, none of this makes fucking sense. But since they're on a deserted island, you're like, oh, okay, it's the trees, it's the wood. Because in that city, it's all these people having all these weird things happening to them.
But they go for weird shit off the bat. I mean, it's season 2, you have a polar bear. Yeah. So already you have to, like, give the writers, like, more of a leash than you're going to be on with any other show. Yeah. I just think it's so remarkable what they did. It's like again, Lost is about the characters, and that's really what the church scene at the end means to me. It's like this period in time on the island was the biggest moment for all of these people in their lives. Yeah, and that's why they're passing on together. And the whole there's no timeline in the afterlife, basically. So it's like everybody's in the waiting room. Fucking Jack's dad tells you in the fucking finale that everything that happened on the island happened. How did the people fucking miss this? For sure. They're like, oh, they're all dead and it's purgatory. Everything fucking happened. Jack's dad tells you that. And it's like everybody, that before they came to the island had shitty lives, or they were all running from something. And the island, while it wasn't like the Judeo-Christian version of judgment, purgatory is judgment. Yeah. And they're also being judged on the island, but everybody is being judged by themselves. Yeah. Not like like a godlike being. It's the judgment that everybody has to go through. Yeah, on the island of themselves. If you look at what they're dealing with, Kate's trying to run from the law, and Sawyer's just killed his fake dad. Yeah, and Jack's got the weight
alcoholism
of his dad's
and the death of the
fucking
being a surgeon, and it's wonderful. And I like the ending. The people who are like, oh, they're all dead, they're in hell, whatever they say. Those are not. I can't imagine somebody who literally watched every episode went into it, had that experience, and then walked away with that feeling and being like, ugh. I
Also-
could see you loving the show and being like, I didn't like the finale.
Yeah.
But it's weird when your comeuppance is like, "Ugh, they were dead the whole time, this bullshit, I'm
Also,
done."
Lost is one of the first, like we've said, it's one of the first like big serialized television shows to ever happen, which is also funny because you see them all of a sudden be like, we got a hit on our hands. We got to get rid of this Walt kid.
Yeah,
he grew 2
yeah, he did, yeah.
Because that's like one of my favorite things to like, you have to give shows the benefit of the doubt now.
Yeah.
But like The Walking Dead has taken place over a year and a half in
Yeah.
the show's time.
And that kid fucking aged
and
8
Carl's
years.
like
yeah.
18 feet tall.
He's smoking cigarettes, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So like
yeah.
that's, and nobody else ages because they're all adults.
Yeah,
so
they're all
it's-
fucking grown-ups that look the
Yeah.
same.
God damn it, I think we...
I think we really talked about it.
Yeah,
I'm going to hit the NFers. We got way more
Good
than I
call.
fucking thought we were going to
Already?
have. But
Damn.
I'll tell you this. I made a real mistake here, I think. I reached out and I said, hey, folks, tell us why you loved or hated.
Oh.
And so we're going to get a little bit of hate on this fucker. I didn't think about it. Coming up first, Freddie G said, the last 15 minutes ruined it for me. It felt like such a stupid cop-out. That ruined the entire last season for me and made me hate the show. It was an unnuanced ending to a nuanced show. That's, I think, the kind of attitude we're talking about, how we're not into. Freddie, that's your opinion. If he loved the show beginning to end, he might be proven wrong what I said. But I do get the idea of you not liking the ending, but I don't see it as a cop-out.
Yeah.
I can see you being like, that's not for me. That's great. That's fine.
I mean, I don't know what you wanted. They got off the island. The main
Yeah.
character died. He had a full arc. He went from being this like rigid scientific man to like, having faith in the island and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
Nick Nicosia said, the last 2 seasons of Lost make me angry, but the series also had some of my favorite hours of television ever. Walkabout, The Constant, and so many other episodes are outstanding, so I'll never be able to say that watching the series was a waste of time.
see, that's the appropriate take.
I like that. Yeah.
Travis
Chernus, our old buddy.
Hell yeah. He said you had to watch all of it to really know what was going on. And even still, this is me adding on, but even if you watched all of it, you didn't know what the hell was going on.
That is the truth.
He said, which I never did. I would stay tuned when it came on TV and be so confused. I was lost.
Great. Amanda Murray said, 1, polar bear cage makeouts are hot.
Totally.
2, Ben is also hot.
Disagree.
All
Hard
right.
disagree.
That's
that fucking face, man. He always
Yeah.
has that like Ben Linus face.
3, series finale was disappointing, but our decor was on point. I only started watching because the early commercials made it look like there was a Yeti or something. Sad there was no Island Yeti. Also, seeing Mark Pellegrino and stuff and getting to say, oh God, is fun. And then she posted a photo, Amanda did, of their watch party for the last season, which is they got Dharma
we don't
Initiative
have watch
wine.
parties anymore.
No.
know?
They do. I
Game
think
of Thrones.
Mad
again.
Men had watch parties.
Yeah.
Remember that? Mad Men had a lot of that. Game of Thrones sometimes does.
I've been to a Game of Thrones.
The problem
I went
is,
to a Game of Thrones
it's
party.
been fucking a year and a half since we've seen a new Game of Thrones. We don't remember. That was a different time. You know?
No shit.
But yeah, she has all these pictures of Dharma Initiative wine and cupcakes with polar bears and stuff. Let's see what else we got.
Okay. Sam Compton said, reasons why I loved Lost. Jack. Reasons why I hated Lost. Jack's breathing.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Grill, good buddy, said, I hate it because anyone who talks to me about The Good Place tells me it's like funny Lost, which I do not get because, wow, surprise, I am not a Lost guy. And that's fun.
Also, I don't really
Think it's the same,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess since they're both television shows that bring philosophy into the mainstream more than any
I like
other ones.
I like the way this
but-
played out. Sorry, somebody commented on AJ's comment. Chris Schmidt commented with a meme, well, excuse me. And that makes me funny because that makes me think Chris Schmidt's this guy that's been telling him it's like Lost.
Uh-huh.
That's fun.
Raina May said, not enough time-traveling dog content.
Thank you.
Also, the smoke monster was dumb. Nobody on the island lost weight or looked like shit. Too Much Ben. It was the first show I had to Google recaps of to figure out what was just happening. One of the reasons I loved it was because it was one of the first TV shows that had a pretty diverse cast, and none of the narratives were solely about race.
I like that. Yeah. I agree. Not a lot of time, but remember that one season when Claire comes back and she's been living in that fucking bird's nest? She looks like shit in that.
Yeah.
Chris Schmidt from, I mentioned him before in Ages Data, he said, because I was naive enough to believe they knew where the plot was going. Now, that's a big thing people think, is people think that the show, that they didn't really have any idea and that it's all just like thrown on the wall. And Raina agrees with Chris on that.
No, it's just the fucking J.J. Abrams mystery box idea.
Yeah.
And it feeds into what's kind of wrong with nerd culture
Yes.
and nerd fandom, where everybody has their own
like we talked about on Monday with Jeremy.
Yeah, exactly. So people have their preconceived ideas. Trust me, I was on Lostopedia, fucking message boards every day after every fucking episode, arguing with people about like what this means.
Yeah.
You know, what the smoke monster means. And smoke monster, it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's the Man in Black's manifestation of himself.
Thank you.
And he's going around killing stuff.
Brian Levy said the writers knew what they were doing with their characters better than almost anything else I've ever seen on TV. The plot stuff is important, but kind of incidental to what put the characters through and how the characters change over time, which was really satisfying. The end is great too. LOL. I want to say real quick, that's Brian Levy's take. Now, Matt Levy, I don't know if they're related, said season 2 is the best
this guy
season.
Gets it underneath it.
Matt Levy said this season 2 is the best season of any TV show in history. Now, season 2, that's the one I thought people don't like.
I guess.
That's crazy.
But no, that's just some people.
Yeah. Justin Marchett said it was great. The haters all thought it was all purgatory. Only like 2% of it was purgatory. The final season's flashes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even purgatory. That's just like an alternate flash sideways.
Well, you know what my rap metal band, Rusty Needle Tattoo Parlor, would have to say about that, right? I don't want to be here anymore. Don't want to live in purgatory.
Yeah. Also, if it was purgatory, I doubt it would have evoked such, diverse opinions. It's just everybody would just been like, it's all right.
Yeah. I just hate being here, dying, fading away.
Mike Cody said, I loved it until the last season when they were still introducing new mysteries instead of wrapping up the old ones. The characters and their backstories were what kept me coming back, especially John Locke. It's the characters,
I
man.
do agree, though. That's one of the things, biggest problems I had with the Man in Black and this stuff, was I was like, why are we opening this when there's so many things in the air, you know? Who were the people that shot at them in the boat? Like, that was the thing I always thought we would get a good response on. Adam Rabick said, it would have been phenomenally stupid and endlessly entertaining show if the writers only had to fill 13-episode seasons instead of network standard 22-25. I think that's a very valid point. You know, like we were talking about how sometimes there's filler episodes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a lot of filler in Lost.
You watch a lot of...
creators, have even said there's filler shit in there.
You watch a lot of British shows and you don't need that. You don't have
It's also fucking, we're looking at it, a TV show from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, through the lens of what TV is now.
Yeah.
You know, like 20 plus episodes for a show per season when you're also trying to have one narrative arc going over that entire season. It's like, get to the fucking point.
Yeah, totally.
That's what a lot of these shows are when you go back and rewatch them. It's like, just give me the meat, baby.
And then our last comment, I believe, is from friend of the show, fan of the show, Real NFer, Frank DeRigorio. I have no idea how to say your name, Frank. I apologize. You're a great stand-up comedian. He says, I like a lot about it, but above all else, Michael Emerson did some world-class acting on the show.
He's fucking great.
Yeah, so good.
Come on, he gets punched every day.
That's what they got.
Because of his work.
Those Cedar Rapids genes, you know?
Yeah.
Him, Elijah, all of them. You know? They're doing great. Goddamn. So
Marv Levy,
you're right. So that's our last one. I wanted to say real quick, I was gonna try to drop the stand-up clip of this in, but I could not find a good copy of it.
Oh.
So I want to just tell you my really quick loss. I lost the copy of it.
We get it.
But I was at a Chili's, and I think on stage I say Red Lobster.
Oh,
maybe,
I think Claire from Lost was at a Chili's too. Because she was like, I want my baby back.
There it is. That's not what I was setting up, but I'm glad it got there. No, one time I overheard a couple on a first date, and the guy was like, the girl was like, I'm a single mom, I'm a nurse, and the guy's like, well, I'm from the South, my dad was a con man and killed my mom and him, I was in foster care, and then I got in trouble with the law, and then I went to Australia, and basically this guy on this date was just lying to this girl and pretending that he was Sawyer from Lost. And I heard it with my own ears, and I was just like, this guy is a sociopath. But the thing that boggled my mind about it, what I say on stage, is like, he could have picked anybody. He could have been like, I'm a doctor who drinks a little bit sometimes, you know? He's like, he could have said anything, but instead he went with Sawyer, the scariest person, you know? And I just thought that was so fucking weird. And then also, we got a little treat at the end of the episode today. Why don't you set that up? The clip we're dropping in the end?
Friend of the show, fan of the show, real NFer.
Future guest.
Yeah. Real DFer as well.
Hell yeah, baby.
David Freeberg had a fun bit.
Stand-up bit.
A while ago, he used to close his sets with a Lost song.
Yeah.
So we'll play that.
So make sure to listen to that after the little bullshit, you know?
Speaking of which, should we do the
yeah, let's
bullshit?
do it. Where can the listeners find you?
Also, I do want to say...
oh, God. Now we're serious again.
Vincent.
Yeah?
Loved him.
Who's Vincent? The dog?
Yes.
Great dog.
That sad scene when they're all leaving on the raft and he's like, Vincent, you can't come, is really sad. And then he runs up to Jack at the end.
Yeah, licks him. That's a shot for shot of the first episode.
Yep.
It's good.
You can find me
on the internet.
That's right.
Ream Corps.
Yeah, you can find me. Also, I'm buried in the Lostopedia message board.
You're still there fighting
under
for
Ream Corps.
Fighting for what's right.
That's ReamKore. Also, check out
House of Bricks.
House of Bricks Comedy, second Friday of every month.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this the day it comes out, it's tomorrow. If you're stuck in some sort of a flashback or flash forward or flash sideways, who the fuck knows? Check the internet. And if the internet hasn't been invented yet, brother, how you listening to this? You can follow me at Patrick Hasty. That's at PatrickHastie, PatrickHastie.com for all upcoming shows and dates. Got a lot of new stuff on there. Go take a look. Please support our sponsor. Tell your friends. iTunes reviews are great. Go throw us a buck or two on the Patreon. If you want to get in touch with us, email us at the nostalgicfront@gmail.com. Tell your friends. Be cool. Never die. And as always, remember, if you're not an NFer,
you're an MFer. So get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you guys. Finally, right? Jesus. You guys remember like the 50s, right? Most of you. When TV shows had like minute and a half long theme songs that like explained what was going on so you could just jump in. And now we just get like a ominous tone. So in case anyone, I started writing theme songs. So, if anyone wants to like jump into the middle of Lost, I wrote a theme song to kind of catch you guys up. Spoiler alerts, but like, that show's like 10 years old. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale. The tale is not so plain. They took off from Australia aboard a commercial plane.
Aboard a commercial plane.
Jack Shepherd was a surgeon, Kate a fugitive. Sawyer is a skilled con man, Hurley was intuitive. I wrote this like 2 hours ago. And I kind of did like one line, then the next line, and then had to fit the rhyme, and didn't want to edit the first 2 lines, so some of the rhymes are kind of weird. The rough draft, you guys. The plane was split in half that day. They landed on an isle with lots of crazy stuff out there. Some of it was hostile. Soon Jack became it's not done. This is 4 minutes long without these pauses. So Jack became the leader, which most of them did allow. They ran into a polar bear. I still don't know how. They meet a crazy French lady who's been there for a while. The others start attacking them, but the group is versatile. John Locke and Jack Shepherd never do agree. This represents faith versus science, at least to some degree. A
mysterious metal hatch is found in the jungle's blossom. Desmond lives inside of it, who personally I think is awesome.
Who personally I think is awesome.
They find some more survivors from the tail section of the plane. They're not all that exciting, and the show kind of stays the same.
The show kind of stays the same.
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe 4 minutes is a little long for a theme song. But you guys are gonna get it. Others take some hostages, Sawyer, Jack, and Kate. The smoke monster kills Mr. Echo, who followed a vision of his brother as bait. He was a cool character. Sawyer and Kate have some sex. Jack does surgery on Ben, the leader of the others. He helps by endangering the life of others.
By endangering the life of others.
I rhymed others with others, but the first one's like a personal noun. It's like uppercase. As the group, the second one's lowercase. Jack starts to like an other whose name is Juliet. How appropriate that name sure is. She's the Montague to Jack's Capulet.
She's the Montague to Jack's Capulet.
I read books. Half an episode explains to us the origin of Jack's tattoos. That storyline was so boring, it made me take a snooze.
It made me take a snooze.
That episode was terrible. Some characters get off the island, and another uses a device one time in order to move the island to the fabric of space-time.
To the fabric of space-time.
We're almost done. Now the ones left on the island jump erratically through time. They end up in the Dharma Initiative in 1979.
In 1979.
But then there is the guy Jacob who seems to be immortal. The island gave him superpowers, or the smoke monster did, but I'm pretty sure the smoke monster is the island. But they get separated when Jacob's mom died because she was both the island and the smoke monster, and split them between her sons, which caused a lot of drama. Well, Michael's son is supposed to reunite them and become the island as a whole. I'm not sure, but I think Hurley understands. Here's J.J. Abrams Island!
I did not think it would go that well. What? I did not think it would do that well. Holy shit. That was
Welcome to BrainMachineNetwork.com.